Hey, I want to talk about Allie Gray. Excuse me. Angel Gray. Cut. Start all over. Angel Gray. Angel Gray is she works for the Cleveland Cavs organization. And she actually, what do you call it? Is that like, she like a sideline reporter. Sideline reporter. And I saw her at the beginning of this year. She's a African American young female who has taken over the position of somebody else who left and was a big name, who was a sideline reporter, and she's off doing some other things. But I think this is a great opportunity for Angel Gray to step in and make a bigger name for herself. Now, in the video that I did earlier, it was her doing an interview with the Cavs organization and how her resume. Well, you get a chance to see it if you look at the one below where I said power to the women. And I'm actually fascinated at a woman who is successful and who has skills and is doing things I think is like beyond attractive. And me and my mama, I did a couple of videos earlier. Me and my mama went to the Cavs game the other day, and Romero Banks, shout out to Romero Banks, is one of my former students, and he works for the Cavs and he's on the court. And so I was talking to him standing by the tunnel, and she actually walked like I was above the tunnel. She was below and was getting ready to walk into the tunnel. So I'm talking to him on the side, and she's walking by. I said, you know what, I'm going to speak to her. I'm just going to speak to her. Now I know she, is busy doing whatever she's doing, but the game was over, and we had taken a shellacking from the Indiana Pacers, and unfortunately this was the last game for Tyronn Lue, so me and my mother got a chance to see that, but I did get a chance to see Angel Gray, so that was pretty neat. And I spoke to her. I said, hey, how you doing? She said, hey, how you doing? I said, well, have a nice night. She said, you too. And she walked under the tunnel, and I was all geeked up and as giddy as a little ninth grade boy who's fascinated with somebody. It felt childish. It felt silly. It felt like as a grown man I shouldn't have a sensation of being thrilled at seeing a woman and being fascinated at her career, her intellect, her resume. She had she worked in Atlanta, which shout out to Atlanta ATL, and she was actually dealing with, I think it was the Sparks, I think it was the WNBA. I don't know if she was actually a player, but she said she also did some color commentating, so analyzing the game. So she really knows the game of basketball. She has a great smile. She's beautiful. She's very successful. And I'm just concerned because they have her now, another young lady in the video you'll see. You have to go and look at that, who I think they're grooming to supersede or try to place in. But anyway, that's just me on something different. But I want to give a shout out to Angel Gray. And I want to say that even though I know I talk about relationships don't work, I think this is a cool relationship. Her, along with not only Cleveland Cavaliers, but her and her professional career and building to be the woman that she wants to be. So when I say power to the women, this is what I mean. This is a woman who's doing something, and she's not sitting around per se waiting, or is not necessarily looking for a man to, guide her or lead her. She's doing these things on her own. Now, is she in a relationship? I don't know about all that. But I just can't imagine that some young guy wouldn't have dropped down on one knee and proposed. Does anybody do that anymore? Huh? Let me ask you guys. Send me a comment. Do men? This is another question. Now I'm going off into another stratosphere. Do men get down on one knee and ask for a woman's hand in marriage? Now this I'm gonna probably have to create an extension on something else, but I want to know that. But today, this is a shout out to Angel Gray, and so in case nobody believes I don't do videos, I do videos that are supportive of powerful women, And this is one of them. So I can do a video of somebody if you are powerful. I guess even to yourself and to other people. And what is it that you do? So shout out to the Euclid Panthers for being the Greater Cleveland Conference, the GCC champions on the varsity level and also the junior varsity level, winning week 1 in the playoffs against Austin Town Fitch, a Youngstown team, 35-0. And next week we're preparing to play against St. Edward's High School. So I started this thing off by talking about Angel Gray and her being successful and doing things, not only representing herself, her family, and her race for the most part, but also myself. I want to give a shout out and kudos to me, Maurice Goodwin, Coach Baum Goodwin, for being a part of, for 3 years, now seeing the progression of my team develop to a point where success is right here, and we're handling it, and for the first time winning the conference championship as the varsity and the junior varsity. Junior varsity went undefeated. The junior varsity was undefeated in their campaign, so shout out to the varsity, the junior varsity, and I want to acknowledge our freshman team for giving it the college effort and trying the best that they could with the mentalities that they have. It just doesn't register sometimes quick enough for the winning part, and it wasn't that serious for them. They didn't get it because they haven't lost before. So having an undefeated eighth grade team, and now having a ninth grade team, they didn't know. But shout out to the ninth graders for trying, and actually won a number of games in a row, and almost was at 500. It didn't happen. So 500 would be 5-5, but ended up being 4-6. Good wins. So shout out to, but I'm actually excited about progress. So those young men next season, if they hang in, will be better than they were for the ninth grade year. So I've been a part of the development of this process, and now it's time for me to, once this campaign closes, to step my game up and become a developer on a higher level, making a lot more cheese and scratch. So it's a shout out today to Angel Gray for her progress, and it's a shout out to me as Maurice Goodwin as my progress. Both of us are two sports individuals that are catapulting ourselves forward. Even though I'm some years older in my life, I'm still excited about the opportunity of making it very big. So shout out again to Derek Mills, who today I had to save because he nearly drowned. And so you, young man, you go out there and you live your life and you become the man that you need to be. You're going to grow up, have your wife and kids and a family, and you'll be a great father, because it could have been over today. But God blessed you. God blessed me to be able to reach in and save you. So today is a good day. Derek Mills is still alive. Thank you, God, for that. Again, shout out to Derek Mills. Shout out to Angel Gray. And a shout out to me as Maurice Goodwin, because we have done some things today and throughout our career so far that are noteworthy. And I want to acknowledge the good for a change, for sure. So peace to the relationship world.